Hi everyone, Ian here. In today's video lesson I wanted to try and explain how the legs work during the golf swing. A really important part of the motion of the golf swing and something that sometimes is quite overlooked. So I want to discuss that in some detail in this video lesson. So if we separate it into two parts, the first part that we need to ascertain with our leg action is how they actually physically move. The second part will be when you deploy that movement. So let's look at the first part of understanding how the legs function during the golf swings. Now, the first one is relatively easy, and you can do this at home. It's really trying to ascertain whether or not you can actually make a movement that is required for us to play golf. So all that we're looking to do in this first part is to see, can I move my legs, get my hips and my belt buckle to point where I want the ball to go. So you don't even need a club for this. It's just to see if we can actually move our weight through onto our lead foot, our lead leg, my left leg being a right-handed player. So can I go from here, just a little bit of swing back, and can I move my weight through to my left side, my lead side here, and get myself turning fully through. Now, when I do golf lessons with people, they do sometimes struggle to understand the feeling here of how the legs work. And the simplest one is just to stand up straight and see if you can rotate your stomach, your legs, knees, ankles. You'll feel the feet working, and we're simply trying to turn. This is the simplest way of learning that to begin with, is just a simple rotary motion. So we're going from here to point where we want the ball to go. So my weight is on my lead foot. And really all I've done is turn. That's all I've really done, is turn that lower half. Because what happens is we have some weight transference to our trail foot. This moves across to our lead foot and fully across where my lead leg is straight and my trail leg is bent. That's the movement of the lower half is really no more than that. It gets a little bit more in-depth when we're actually at the ball with the posture position. So we've come over with our spine, head, neck. Then the lower half has an added movement, which we're going to discuss now. So stood up straight. Yeah, I think a little bit of practice, most of you at home practicing this can do this. However, when we take a posture position, the lower half has a slightly different movement now. It's not just a rotary movement, there is also tilting. The hips must tilt as we swing back, and then tilt the opposite way when we swing through. We must have the lead side, my left hip here and my left knee here, you can see is lower than my right side. Now from here what happens is we can actually drive down and through to our lead side much better. If my hips are level to the ground in the backswing, from here it's very difficult to actually go downwards into the ball and then up into your finish. It's very difficult. As you can see here, I'm just spinning around the base of my spine, which also isn't very good for our backs. This is what drops the left side under us in our backswing. And likewise, you know, we hear a lot of stuff talked about getting our trail shoulder, my right shoulder here, underneath, so that we can have better repetitive ball striking. Now, if I've got rotary motion level to the ground, there's no way that my right side here can naturally come underneath and allow me to get into that golf ball how we really desire. So if I've got lower here as I've gone back, it drops my left side. Then from here we can walk downwards into the ball, and then we stand on to our lead leg into the finish. And this is what you may see a lot of people are saying, we need to press down, but you can't do that if we've kept our hip line level to the ground. You 100% won't be able to do it. It needs to be this way, so we can then walk down and through to our finish. So that's the first half of knowing how to use the legs. So a great practice that you can do at home. Don't need a club. All you need is a wall. Hopefully you've got one at home somewhere. We take our lead foot, we put it up against the wall, and then we're trying to get our hips to face the wall and push into the wall. So we get this feeling of the legs, the knees and the ankles really driving through, and at the same time getting the hips facing the wall. So just a little backswing, you don't need much. Drive the legs through, and you can see my hips are pointing at the wall, but my head has stayed behind that movement. What we don't want is the head in front of the lower half. As you can see, this is the wrong way round, and also you're going to hurt your head, so be careful of that. So here, feel how those ankles are moving, those knees are moving, drive through, and the head stays relatively steady, which is what we want when we make our golf swing. So part two of the leg action, once you've ascertained the movement through to your finish and you feel like you've maybe got that about right or right, is when we deploy that movement. Now, if we've got a great leg action but it's coming after we've hit the ball, then it's not going to add anything to the shot. So we don't want to sort of hit the ball and then make a really good leg action through to our finish, because it's not going to contribute anything to the actual hitting of the golf ball. So the deployment of the lower half starts the moment we change direction from up to down. It's really important that this trigger, this initiation of that good lower half movement starts when we change direction from up to down in our backswings. So if you've got a really good leg action, but it's coming just a little bit after you've started down with the hands and arms, then they won't contribute anything whatsoever. So first, as I've already discussed, get the leg action prepared, and then learn to trust it, learn to use it. So once you've done that good position with your legs into the backswing, left side, for me being a right-handed player, is naturally under, then we walk down, then we finish coming and standing up on our lead leg. Now you can't do that if you haven't done the backswing correctly, as I mentioned earlier, but the key here is deploying it at the right time. You must give yourself a chance for that leg action to start back first when you get to the top of your backswing, or whether it's a 2/3 backswing. The next movement is how that lower half transfers down, up and into the finish, at the start of the downswing. So remember, that's a really important point. You can learn that leg action and get it fantastic, but you must trust it. It should start the downswing. It's not this one. There's only a tiny separation you can get from the lower half and the upper half, but it's really, really important. You watch any good player, any top player, the first movement back is the movement of that lower half. But remember to get the action right first. Make sure you can turn through to the wall. Make sure that your hips and your knees aren't staying level to the ground, because it just will not function correctly and reliably if it's not tilting. They must tilt into your backswing, and then we can drive down onto that lead foot. So go and give this a try. Leave me a comment. Obviously, like, share, and all of that stuff. Be really, really appreciated. And until next time, thanks very much for watching.